I do have the game speed counter up because even though it runs at full speed, I might still get some slight slowdown because I'm also using OBS.
At Neodyne Industries Ltd, we have successfully completed a global network consisting of 64 satellites. The project is named Starline Network. This is a monumental achievement.
Hey, right?
Starline will unite the world.
I don't think so. The Starline Network is a mere front for a plan to launch a nuclear satellite into space. VSSE has dispatched 2 agents to prevent the launch. Keith Martin, Robert Baxter,
There's some news.
Christy Ryan,
He's still alive.
Wild Dog,
It's almost ready. My dream will soon come true.
Ernesto Diaz, Time Crisis 2.
Your project is going down in flames. They'll be here soon.
It's the opponent again, and yes, this is Time Crisis 2 running in MAME. It only actually became playable in MAME a couple of months ago. I think it was one of the 250 releases. So earlier this year, this became playable, but only if you have a really good PC. And I was just really ecstatic to hear that one of my favorite arcade games of all time is finally playable in its original form, even though it looks like this. Graphical glitches everywhere, some sound effects missing, but it runs at full speed if you can get a PC running at least 4.6 gigahertz. So, let's just get started right away. You can also choose which cabinet you're on in MAME. I'm just gonna play on player 1 side, even though I'm used to player 2 side, and I'm not sure what it is about this game, but I seem to be missing shots.
Me,
Again,
Christy.
probably because of my
I found
plays.
some data about the satellite network. Haven't the agents left yet?
Keith and Robert are on their way. No one can beat them.
Keith and Robert?
Well, it appears we have a guest. Looks like we caught you just in time. A leak like this would have been problematic.
What are we looking at?
Least.
A punch like that, and you think you're gonna conquer the world.
Silence.
Game's lacking.
You have no idea how perfect our plan is. Now take her away. What the?
Okay. If I was any good at this game, I would get at least 100,000 points here, because this game introduces a scoring system. In short, shots to the head are worth the most. I think shots to the torso are worth second most. Anywhere else is worth the least. But you can shoot enemies 3 times in this game, but this is called chase shots, I think? You want to do that to maximize your score, which is why you have 9 bullets in your magazine instead of only 6. But there's also a secondary scoring system in place where every 10 shots is worth a bonus, as long as you don't miss. But I'm not good enough to actually make the most of that. So when you watch high scoring plays, they will aim downward. First to the head, and then downward to increase the chances they will maintain their combo. This screen here I'm pretty sure is random. There's 2 different enemy formations here. Get that yellow guy there. Also, the yellow guys, instead of awarding bonus, I got hit by one of the branching men. That's really embarrassing. Instead of awarding bonus time, they award 5,000 points, no matter where you hit them. So also, in the single player game, there's 2 extra enemies in most of the scenes, just in brown. And which one you hit on the left or the right determines the branch you take. Because in 2-player games, the routes are constant for each player, fully taking advantage of the 3D environments. Not just swooping around individual screens, but going all over the place. There's a hidden guy over there. That's fine. This isn't any percent. I'm not trying to get 1cc or score or anything. I just wanted to show off the progress that MAME's been making in 2023. The fact that they're even able to get the game running in this state, glitchy as it is. He's playable to the end without crashing. But I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but in order for me to actually run this game, I had to overclock my PC, reinstall Windows, and make it generate way more heat than it ever would doing anything else, even encoding video, and I normally do in my day job. And suffice to say, it's a good thing Coin Out Classic runs in December instead of July. If you hit the boss's hat off in this section 4 times, you enter a bonus section full of yellow dudes for even more points. It's really hard to do though, because the target is always so small. If you hit your partner, you just lose 1,000 points. You don't lose life or anything. I got hit, that's fine. I have gotten 1cc on this before. I got it last year on the PS2 version, which is... looks different, but actually has almost the same enemy formations, but the scoring system has changed. In subtle ways that don't really matter to casual players, but scoreboards are separated between arcade and PS2. Got the head again. Just one more time and I get it. This section's really long. Yeah, starting with this game though, Time Crisis games de-emphasize time and instead emphasize score. Gotta be careful here. Okay. I got the bonus, even though I continued, I don't care. Getting the bonus is more important to me at this point, because just to say that I could. I don't really know the trick to getting it. It's probably just... because what I normally do is aim above his head and shoot downwards slightly until I get it. But I lose my chain bonus that way. It's not made up for the bonus here. So, yellow dudes everywhere. They can still hit you, but they have a really low chance of doing it. Now, the normal route is you take up a machine gun and destroy an APC, and yeah, machine gun's the only special weapon in this game. You only get it at specific points.
So, who are those two? Where's the girl?
They took her to General Diaz, sir.
We gotta stop them now!
Yes, sir.
The 100% counter is MAME's frame counter. If it goes below 100%, the game is lagging. Either because your PC isn't up to it, or the emulation's not up to it. In this case, it's both. But I only have it up there so I can see that the game is lagging. Now, for this speedboat here, for the first phase you can hit anywhere on there to break down the cannons, but later on it stops mattering. And this seems to be where just about everybody decides to stop trying to go for chains, because it's just way too hard to hit these moving targets. Yellow guy there. Really easy to miss. But speaking of the PS2 version, it's a lot darker than this one. I mean, this is dark too, but that's only because the emulation isn't getting the lighting correct. But I just love that I just love the heavy use of the Chicago font, the old Apple Macintosh font. I'm a big fan of that font. I'm really particular about fonts. And the PS2 one just changed it because it came out like 4 years after the arcade game did. That's how much staying power Time Crisis 2 had. They're able to port a game way later. They got 4 time to end that stage. This is another spy movie, by the way. Computer briefcases.
I knew it. These
Evil
maniacs have got
satellite.
the military satellite.
And they're about to go on
And they're moving
train.
it by train.
We better get going. There's no time to lose.
We're doing another GoldenEye game. Also, cool car.
Look over there.
But the PS2 version also expanded the cutscenes slightly, which was cool. It actually developed all of the characters, including the villains. And especially Christy Ryan, she's cool. You didn't see it, but she withstood a punch to the gut and also got bopped one in the head. And she still managed to... I'm actually not sure if left or right is better here. One of the severe issues of Time Crisis 5 is how they decided to handle that sacrifice. I'm not going to spoil it, but suffice to say Christy Ryan is not treated with the respect she deserves in that game. Maybe able to find it in Dave & Buster's, I'm not sure if they're still running it. Since even harder to see because it's so dark in MAME. Still manageable though, you just have to memorize it from playing it from the arcade or the PS2 version. No, that's my fault. I should have known that. Has anyone ever handled a machine gun? Does it actually make you hop up and down like that? Does it make you oscillate? Now you're always guaranteed to have a machine gun here. Gotta be careful about when you choose to hide there. The machine gun is infinite ammo. I hit the left guy. I wanted to hit the right guy there. Because I forgot when exactly they appear. Right route is easier.
Halt! Action!
You barely see everything. Although that's also the case on real hardware. Targets are a lot smaller here. For the player one side. I can't see how many lives I have left. I think I was only one. Shortcut. If I can hit that. Yeah. And break down that support. There's another shortcut here with the barrels, but if you destroy them in a certain way, you get 15,000 points instead of only 5,000. I keep forgetting the correct order to do that.
Go! Action!
You can get bonus yellow guys to appear if you clear the screen out fast enough, which I can't do because a lot of my shots aren't landing. I think I need to tune my, I think I need to just tune the calibration on my Sindan gun. We're on a train again. We're stopping a satellite in transit. Yeah, that was only one life. Maybe I need to stand closer to the screen. Now the bonus screen here is actually pretty hard to do. You have to get two yellow guys who pass by really quickly. I got it. But high scoring runs don't usually go for that though because it's not safe and possibly also not as high scoring as it usually is. That's really embarrassing. So normally you would look the other way, but there's yellow guys here. There's also a lot of danger because there's red guys here too that you don't normally get. Got hit. You didn't see it, but I got hit. Then I'm forced to take this route. I normally take a different route here. You can normally choose. So the viewpoint here is different. Like the guy poking his head out. It's a yellow guy. Now, the smoke does obscure your vision in the arcade game too. So this is normal for once. Now when my muzzle flash doesn't render, I'm not sure if that's emulation or my gun not registering. Now, this is another iconic boss because of how absurd it is, but also probably the easiest boss in any Time Crisis game.
Nice try, boys, but my job's to protect this satellite. It's time for you to say goodbye.
I'm gonna wait this out. Player 2 gets to start hitting him early. No, I normally play player 2 sub, but I'm playing player 1 for some reason. I missed the yellow guy. Three hits on him. You can. This is because of this scene. He has an ICBM and uses it as a battering ram. Sneak hits in between his swings. This is the only really challenging part of this boss. He gets a few random shots. Like right there. How did I get hit again? That's really embarrassing. This game encourages me to increase my firing rate too. Besides the combo system actually being just complex enough to reward accuracy and speed at the same time. But the world record, I think SM Raiders has it, it's over 2 million points. My personal record is a little under 900,000. One day I'll get above 1 million, that's my goal right now. Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen with this current state of MAME.
My dream is just about complete. And the world will be mine.
Your project is going down in flames. They'll be here soon.
I'm expecting them. Why do you think I kept you alive?
General Diaz, we've got trouble.
So soon? Wild Dog, it's time.
Yes, sir.
This stage looks really different in PS2. It's already dark and they made it even darker. But when you release a PS2 game in, I think, 2001, you have to give it PS2 graphics. This is not, unfortunately, it's not PS2 graphics. They should have just released it looking like this, because I think, this is, I think, Super System 23? Which I think was still based on PS1. I need to double check the details on that. This is an interesting screen because so many things happen in this tiny space. Including the yellow guy passing through.
Freeze!
It's getting in the way. I think Robert's not positioned where he should be in the real game. The calling is wrong. I missed the yellow guy. That's really hard to hit because the red guy's in your face. Wild Dog, it's now personal, even though it's not exactly that guy. You have to figure this out. This is really hard to. So to get the bonus screen here, you need to hit Wild Dog a whole bunch of times. I'm not sure exactly how many times. I think 20 times or so before the next screen. I don't think I got it. And then the next screen where he appears, he'll be surrounded by yellow guys. So if I actually got the bonus screen here, yellow guys would fill this screen. But I've only ever got it once. And that's the last of the bonuses you need to worry about.
Wild dog, why is it taking you so much time to get rid of them? All right, I'll take care of this myself. Action!
You only need to hit the bosses once, because they only get hit once. Why are my shots not registering now? Has to be interference. Now if you delay your shot just enough, you'll get 10,000 points for that hit right before you pops you in the face, which is somehow as damaging as getting shot in the face. I mean, he's half robot by now, so that's probably why. And again, Richard Miller's punch is also as damaging as his gun. I think each of these go down with 6 shots each. Possibly a call back to the helicopters in time for this one. Right side. You're actually allowed to get hit, and you're actually allowed to hit Christy Ryan there without penalty. That's the only time you do. Just try to get some bonus shots in on Ernesto Diaz for some extra points. You don't have to do that at all, though. 666,000, that's hideous.
You fools!
Action!
Maybe I should have taken left side instead. Minus 5,000 points if you hit Christy at this screen. Not just 1,000 for hitting your partner. I'm actually running out of time. How's that possible? How? Left side. That's the last branching path.
Thank
And
you.
notice it was Robert who made the dive there. That's also significant for the plot of Time Crisis 5. Again, I won't spoil it, but just keep that in mind next time you play it.
He's about to launch a nuclear satellite.
Begin main engine sequence.
Look, the satellite's still there.
This is just a prototype. We are ready to launch the real one.
Beginning final check.
You are like roaches. I underestimated your persistence. This is not a real satellite. Anyway, let me entertain you.
And this is probably the second easiest boss in all of Time Crisis. You don't actually have to hit anything in specific. Lots of lasers. Get all the points you want. Be able to easily get a 99 combo here. If you just hit the body of the satellite enough, everything else will break off. You can also hit Ernesto Diaz if you want, and doing that will end the boss fight a little bit sooner, which isn't good for scoring. But he'll die eventually by himself, no matter what you do. That is, as long as you're shooting something, he'll fall. And just get whatever points you... I can't believe you hit me, that's... Take that. That's really embarrassing. Good thing this is any percent. 772, that's one of my weakest scores yet. That's okay. This is just a demonstration of MAME progress more than anything else. What I do is you play gun games long enough, shake the lactic acid out of your hands. Speaking of light gun games though, there's 2 light gun games from my childhood I want to play again that's not emulated or available in any form. Well, actually, it's not true. The first one is Terra Burst, which was in my arcade, but it had an enormous, rifle that I wasn't able to carry because I was small. But it's playable in main, but only at half speed. It probably doesn't crash to the end. And also had a really big screen too. That one's about aliens. And the other one is what was it? Warzade, or Skeleton War, the video game. It also had a cover system. When you fire off screen, you'll put up a shield that lasts until your next shot. I got the good ending that game a couple of times. And then Warzade did get a spiritual successor called War Tran Troopers, but it's not the same. There's no skeletons in that game. Also, another game I want to run, I potentially could run, is Police 911. Also another cover-based shooter, but you have to move your body because it's got sensors all around. That game did get a PS2 port that was released in Japan and Europe. But it uses a specific camera and a specific gun, which is not the PlayStation Eye and it's not the GunCon because that game came out before either of those. Needless to say, I don't have one. It is possible to play it without either, but it turns into basically Time Crisis Light. There's only 2 positions, hiding and shooting, and then you use the controller to aim your cursor. Anyway, that's Time Crisis 2, one of my all-time favorite games. Even in this form, I always have a good time playing it. Next game is Time Crisis 3. This is going to be the PS2 port, so it's not going to be any of these emulation glitches or slowdowns. But I'm actually going to try 1cc on that. You're watching the Coin Op Classic on Retro Gaming Live TV. Stay tuned.
Network consisting of 64 satellites.